welcome to World News. This is Lavanya Patel. Now let's get into the details. European leaders agreed on Friday to press ahead with joint act against Russia over the failure to agree to all the ceasefire in Ukraine. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer said after conclusions with the President Donald Trump. Starmer spoke after Albanian's capital Tirana, where leaders of dozens of European countries were gathered for the European Political Community Summit.
So we just had a meeting with President Zelensky and then a phone call with President Trump to discuss the developments in the negotiations today. And the Russian position is clearly unacceptable and not for the first time. And so as a result of that meeting with President Zelensky and the discussion with President Trump, we are now closely aligning and coordinating our responses and will continue to do so.
Wir sind uns einig darüber, dass die russische Seite eine gute Gelegenheit gehabt hätte, in dieser Woche erste Gespräche über ein Friedensabkommen mit einem vorangegangenen Waffenstillstandsabkommen zu führen. Wir sind sehr enttäuscht, dass dies nicht stattgefunden hat. Es lag der Ball ausschließlich bei Russland. Es waren alle Bedingungen erfüllt, um ein gutes erstes Gespräch zu führen.
The first direct peace talks between Russia and Ukraine since early 2022 concluded in Istanbul on Friday after less than 2 hours. While both sides agreed to significant prisoner swap of 1,000 detained each, no progress was made on broader issue. Ukraine proposed a 30-day unconditional ceasefire, but Russia demanded territorial concessions. Ukraine officials accused Moscow of presenting unrealistic demands, and NATO leaders criticized Russia's low-level delegation. The Vatican has offered to host future negotiations.
Day that is a result of many weeks of work of our leaders, of the President of Ukraine, of the United States, of President of Turkey, and our European partners, Prime Ministers and Presidents. The tentative success of today's negotiations is still to be consolidated. That means that the pressure on the Russian Federation must continue. We should not really relax at this point, and there are many issues that can be resolved if only the leaders can meet, because given the complexity of the issues and given the nature of the Russian Federation, where practically every single issue that is at stake can only be resolved by President Putin, we are looking forward for having the summit sooner than later.
В ближайшие дни произойдет масштабный обмен пленными 1000 на 1000 человек. Второе. Украинская сторона запросила прямые переговоры между руководителями государств. Мы приняли этот запрос к сведению. Мы договорились о том, что каждая сторона представит свое видение возможного будущего прекращения огня. Пропишет это в деталях. После того, как такое видение будет представлено, мы полагаем целесообразным, тоже об этом договорено, продолжить наши переговоры.
On May 16, 2025, hundreds of supporters of former Bolivian President Evo Morales marched towards the Supreme Electoral Tribunal in La Paz, demanding his inclusion in the upcoming August presidential election. The protest turned violent as police deployed tear gas and paintballs of the dispersed the crowd, which included indigenous women and elderly demonstration Morales, who is consistently banned out running due to a 2-team limit, did not attend, citing an arrest warrant against him. The unrest reflects deepening political divisions within Bolivia's ruling movement towards socialism mass party.
¿Dónde nos ha puesto este gobierno traidor? Por eso nosotros queremos escribir a nuestro representante Evo Morales Ayma como nuestro representante, el único. ¿Por qué? Un líder, un revolucionario no es al dedo. Si ese no es el pueblo ¿dónde está? Si ese no es el pueblo ¿dónde está?
Compañeros, ¿qué queremos? ¡Que vuelva Evo!
During a press press conference in Abu Dhabi, US President Donald Trump addressed Russian President Vladimir Putin's absence from US orchestrated peace meeting in Turkey between Ukraine and Russian officials. Trump expressed that he was not surprised by Putin's decision to skip the talks, emphasizing the challenges in negotiating with Russia. He reiterated the importance of direct dialogue with Putin to achieve meaningful progress in resolving the ongoing conflict.
I think it's time for us to just do it. I said, they all said Putin was going and Zelensky was going, and I said, if I don't go, I guarantee Putin's not going. And he didn't go, and I understand that, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it done. We got to get it done. 5,000 young people are being killed every single week on average, and we're going to get it done.
Were you surprised when Zelensky didn't show up either?
No, he didn't show up because he heard Putin wasn't going. So
when do you think you'll meet the president?
As soon as we can set it up. I would actually leave here and go. I do want to see my beautiful grandson, it's a son, and we'll be doing that. But I will tell you that the world is a much safer place right now, and I think in 2 or 3 weeks we could have it be a much, much safer place. We're going to handle a couple of situations that you have here. We have some very serious situations, and we're looking at Gaza, and we got to get that taken care of. A lot of people are starving. I think it's time for us to just do it. I said, they all said Putin was going and Zelensky was going, and I said, if I don't go, I guarantee Putin's not going. And he didn't go, and I understand that, but we're going to get it. We're going to get it done. We got to get it done. 5,000 young people are being killed every single week on average, and we're going to get it done.
Were you surprised when Zelensky didn't show up either?
No, he didn't show up because he heard Putin wasn't going. So
when do you think you'll meet the president?
As soon as we can set it up. I would actually leave here and go. I do want to see my beautiful grandson, it's a son, and we'll be doing that. But I will tell you that the world is a much safer place right now, and I think in 2 or 3 weeks we could have it be a much, much safer place. We're going to handle a couple of situations that you have here. We have some very serious situations, and we're looking at Gaza, and we got to get that taken care of. A lot of people are starving.
Warsaw Mayor and pro-EU candidate Rafał Trzaskowski held one of his final campaign rallies on May 17, 2025 in Warsaw, 2 days before Poland's presidential election. Trzaskowski, representing the Civic Coalition, leads the polls with approximately 41% support, while his main rival, nationalist Karol Nawrocki, was 26% backing. Nawrocki, an independent candidate endorsed by the Law and Justice Party, has gained momentum, narrowing the gap between the two contenders. The election is expected to go a second round if no candidate secures an outright majority.
Pamiętajcie o tym, podnieście jeszcze raz biało-czerwone do góry i stanie, żeby nas dzielić. I to wam tutaj w Skierniewicach obiecuję. Ale chcę wam też powiedzieć, wznieście flagi do góry. Chcę wam jeszcze, że te symboliczne barwy są dla nas bardzo ważne. I one... Jesteście wspaniali, dziękuję wam bardzo. Pokażcie tej Polsce biało-czerwone flagi! Polska cała głosuje! Pamiętajcie o tym, podnieście jeszcze raz biało-czerwone do góry i stanie, żeby nas dzielić. I to wam tutaj w Skierniewicach obiecuję! Ale chcę wam też powiedzieć, wznieście flagi do góry! Chcę wam jeszcze, że te symboliczne barwy są dla nas bardzo ważne. I one... Jesteście wspaniali, dziękuję wam bardzo!
During the European Political Community Summit in Tirana, Albania, Prime Minister Edi Rama greeted Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni with a dramatic gesture. Leaning on a red carpet As she arrived, Meloni, visibly surprised, blushed and asked Rama to rise before they exchanged panties. The moment captured on video highlighted the leaders' vote, reported as Albania's pro-EU tense. Earlier, Rama has similarly greeted Meloni in Abu Dhabi, underscoring their friendly diplomatic ties.
He only does it to be tall as me. He only does it to be tall as me.
During his return flight abroad, Air Force One following on pivotal Middle East tour, President Donald Trump addressed reporters, highlighting the tour's significant achievements. He announced over $2 trillion in new investments from Gulf nations, including $1.4 trillion AI and energy partnership with the UAE and $600 billion Saudi commitment to US projects. Trump also discussed lifting sanctions on Iran, hinted at progress in nuclear negotiation with Iran. Amidst these discussions, he humorously remarked on the luxurious begging as 747 to yacht gifted by Qatar, suggesting it might serve on a temporary Air Force One due to our days of being official replacements.
Great leaders, three great leaders.
Do you think the Israelis and Bibi Netanyahu can get his hostages out?
I don't know. We're going to find out pretty soon. We're going to know pretty soon. They're not in good shape, as you know, and different places. You know, it's not one place. It's different places. Some of them are in better shape than others. A little bit depends on the place where they are. But we'll be working with them to get them out.
The Israelis.
The IDF was planning to send in tens of thousands of more troops and expand the war in Gaza, especially if there wasn't a ceasefire while you were here. Do you support that?
Well, we're going to see what happens. I think a lot of good things are going to happen over the next month. And we're going to see. We have to help also out the Palestinians. You know, a lot of people are starving on Gaza, so we have to look at both sides. But we're going to do a good job. Incredible. Because nobody's treated like that. Nobody's treated color.
Will you go to the G20? Will you go to the G20 there?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm really not
On
sure.
Iran, has the U.S. given them a formal proposal? Has Steve Witkoff handed that over?
Yeah, they have a proposal, but more importantly, they know they have to move quickly. Something bad's going to happen. Thank you very much.
How's Tiffany doing? She's well. Everybody's good.
Congratulations on your grandson.
The job they've done is, in a fairly short period of time, is just outstanding, and they're great people.
Vladimir Putin, how do you think we can get those
I
talks
may.
on
We
track?
have to meet. He and I will meet. I think we'll solve it, or maybe not, but at least we'll know. And if we don't solve it, it'll be very interesting.
And then did Austin Tice come up when you...
Not in good shape, as you know. That was a great 4 days. I think it was a historic 4 days.
To be recognizing the new Syrian government, is there a message that
I don't know. I didn't ask them about that. I thought it was the right thing to do. I've been given a lot of credit for doing it. Look, we want Syria to succeed. It's been a mess for 10 years and much longer than that. It would not have been. These were very biting. When you look at the sanctions, these were really brutal. And they would have, I would say, zero chance of success. And this way they have a chance. Their leader is a strong person, but young and a lot of energy and wants to do a good job.
Mr. President, did Austin Tice come up when you talked to the Syrian president?
I always talk about Austin Tice. Now, Austin Tice hasn't been seen in many, many years. You know that. He's got a great mother who's just working so hard to find her boy. So I understand it, but Austin has not been seen in many, many years.
You were joking about the endurance that it takes.
It was amazing what they've done in all three countries. The job they've done is, in a fairly short period of time, is just outstanding, and they're great people. But I think that from all evidence, the farmers in South Africa are being treated brutally, and it's been reported, and nobody wants to cover it. But they happen to be white, and if they were black, I'd do the exact same thing. And we treat people very well when we see there's a general understanding, and they're great people.
European leaders met in Albania on May 16 for the European Political Community Summit, focused on the ongoing Ukraine-Russia war. Key figures including Ukrainian President Zelensky, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, British PM Keir Starmer, Italy's Meloni attended the meeting. The talks come as Ukraine and Russia hold their first peace negotiation since the conflict began, amid all the seriousness of the peace talks in Albania's Tirana. The summit opened with a right-hearted video. The cheeky opening video clip was portrayed leaders like Macron, Erdogan and Ursula von der Leyen and baby leader. The adorable video clip, which was generated using artificial intelligence, earned some chuckles, and the leaders themselves watched most adorable AI-generated video of European leaders portrayed as babies behind the light-hearted moments. The summit is vital for Albania's of the strives for UEI membership after a decades of communist rule. With a population of 2.4 billion, Albania remains one of the Europe's poorest countries.
Позицию на складе боеприпасов в Брянской области возгорания после падения обломков ракет «Атака».
The Israel military on May 16th released a video it claims shows recent airstrikes targeting Hamas infrastructure in Gaza. According to Israel Defense Forces, the footage reflects the expanded operations aimed at achieving full control over key areas as a part of its broader objective to dismantle Hamas. The location and timing of the footage remain unverified by the independent sources. Israel's ongoing campaign follows the October 7 Hamas attack, while the resulting conflict has left over 53,000 people dead and triggered a humanitarian crisis, according to Gaza officials and aid agencies. Dozens rallied outside a Maryland federal courthouse on May 16, demanding the return of Kilmer Abiogosha, a state resident, awfully reported of El Salvador despite a judicial order protesting him. Protesters commented that Trump administration acting as unconstitutional and racial motivated. U.S. District Judge Paula Zixis visibly frustrated the question the government's lack of compliances as the Department of Justice continues to cite national security to withhold key details. Advocates vote to keep fighting until Orbio Garcia is returned to his family.
What do we want? Due process. 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 What do we want? Due process.
Bring Kilmer Abrego Garcia home. Bring him 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 home. The Trump administration kidnapped a husband and father from the streets of Maryland and illegally sent him to a notoriously dangerous foreign prison. Shame. Their actions were unlawful and unconstitutional. They themselves admitted it was done in error. And yet, after clear court orders to bring him back, Kilmer is still not home. The administration continues to make excuse after excuse in court for failing to comply with clear court orders.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
But what is happening to Kilmer is all part of Trump and the administration's bigger strategy to erase black and brown people from this country and inch us closer and closer to white supremacy.
continue rallying. We will continue to show up. We will continue to demand justice, and we will continue fighting until Kilmer comes home to his family where he belongs.
No justice!
No peace!
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 These are the wrap of the bulletins. For more news updates, stay tuned to CVR English News.